Well, I was diagnosed with soft tissue sarcoma in 1999. It was discovered by accident, what is known today as a whoops operation. The surgeon did no diagnostic work at all other than a clinical examination, and then a few days later he stuck the knife into it and immediately knew he had done something wrong. I was referred then to specialists, and about 6 weeks later I had definitive surgery. 9 months later I had a recurrence, which is not the nicest place to be. I had surgery for that. It was lymph nodes in the groin, and then about 3 months later I had a further recurrence in the same area, another tumour, which the medical team decided was unresectable. And there were few choices available then. Remember, this is only the year 2000. I did have one important choice though, and that was to be able to go on to a clinical trial. To everyone's amazement, I responded. I showed a response on a scan after 2 cycles, and the response continued, and I had a complete remission. Well, now we're 9 years further on, and the humbling thought is that I could quite possibly be the only survivor. We don't know for certain because, of course, it's impossible to look up all the other patients. This period of remission lasted 7 years. I thought I'd beaten it, and although I was followed up very closely by the oncology team at the Christie Hospital, I seriously thought it would never be another problem. And then I felt something strange down on my lower leg where the original tumour had been, and eventually this was diagnosed as a field of new tumours. The agonizing decision I had to take was to choose between 2 different surgical routes. One was an amputation, and the other was limb-saving surgery, but it would have left me with a disability in the leg because so much muscle would have been removed. I finally decided to have the amputation. Not the easiest of decisions, but one that I haven't actually regretted, as I've recovered well from that, and mobility, and of course the lower leg has never been a problem since because everything has gone. When I was diagnosed in 1999, there was very little information available for patients. I actually had access to the internet at that time. What I found wasn't terribly encouraging, I'm afraid. One of the things that I discovered early on was how poor the response rate to chemotherapy was. So when I went on to chemotherapy, only 15 months, 16 months later, there wasn't a good feeling inside. I really was looking at what I should be doing for the next year, as it was probably my last year. But I responded, and because I was on a clinical study, I became even more interested in the science and the research, and then I got the opportunity to join the National Research Group in sarcoma.